Okay, we'll start destination NAT. Okay, in which condition you need to go for destination NAT? When you need to access from public network to private network, at that time you need to go for the destination. We are acting like a client in our network. Now I can access to the, so how can I get an access to the internal server? Let's check that also. Okay, so I need to get an access to the server which is the prior from the public network. So let's example, if I put an IP address over here, like 172, let's assume this is an external guy with the IP address of 172.3 dot, let's say 181 as an IP address or 180 as an IP address, and he wants to get an access to 192.168.30.3. Might this guy we have already forward the packet to the internet. Packet might reach to internet. Internet will find destination is a private IP, so it will drop it. So it's not possible to route the packet over the internet. So I need a solution. My destination should have a public IP so that I can route the packet from the public network. So we planned, okay, we did a translation. We translated this private IP into the public IP as a, let's say we'll translate it to 172.16.3.181 as a public IP. It looks same IP, right? Means it's from the same subnet, so don't get confused. Only the IP address is different. So from this particular subnet to this particular means from particular IP to the IP, I'll be sending the packet. Now this packet will reach from how to PA, right? And PA will find the source is public 172.16.3.180 is the source. Destination is the translated IP. It will untranslated back to 192.168.30.3, and the packet will be forwarded from your PA to PM. Right. Now after this, you'll get a reply. In a reply packet, who will be the source? Guy who received a packet will be the source, and guy who forwarded the packet will be the destination. As simple as we have discussed before. So this packet will be from your okay, and this packet again will be translated to public IP before it gets into the public network. and your destination will remain same. And finally, this packet will go from your TA to source has become destination. Destination has become source. Clear? Okay, let's do this thing again. See, here I have not explained about the policy. Okay, now let's talk about the policy. How will you create the policy? In my condition, policy will be little bit different than your other firewalls. Now, based on this source and destination, can you tell me which is the source zone and which is the destination zone? Based on this source IP and the destination IP, can you tell me like packet is coming from which zone and reaching at which zone? Tell me. Source zone is DMZ zone. Easy to say, right? But I have to show you. Okay, some of you told within a zone. Can you see like packet is coming from outside and reaching to the WAN zone only, right? Packet is being received at which zone? Packet is arrived from the, you know, packet is coming from WAN zone and reaching to the WAN zone. Are you guys clear? Packet is coming from WAN and reaching at the WAN zone only. So can I say source as a WAN zone, destination as a WAN zone? Okay. Let's see. Little bit twist we'll see. So we're adding a translation rule. By adding a translation rule, I will say my translation should happen when the packet is coming from WAN to WAN interface. You understood? But the security policy will allow the traffic between WAN to DMZ. See, in a policy, NAT will be different. But in a security policy, the rule will be from WAN to DMZ. First of all, packet will reach from WAN zone to WAN interface, then translations will happen. That will be done by your translation rule. Once the packet zone to DMZ zone. So security policy will come into the picture. Okay. So first of all, say the first intrazone traffic is by default allowed it, right? Within a intrazone, your traffic can reach till your gateway, right? For that, I don't need to define the security policy. Okay. If you want to control the traffic within an intrazone, then you'll be creating some policies. But by default, the packet coming to your intrazone, it will be accepted, right? Okay. Okay. So here I made the source as a WAN, destination as a WAN zone, interface. I made the service, and here I gave a destination NATed IP. And again, I told, okay, here you can see the destination side is there. In a destination, I'll give a server a real IP. This is my, see, don't go according to this document. I mean, like, if you are following this document, then make sure you have the knowledge of the IP addresses according to this document. You understand? In this document, while I was creating these documents, my IP addresses were different. Okay. And right now, what we are doing according to our app, our IP addresses are different. So if you match the previous IP address, means the existing IP address with the current IP address, then only you will understand. So just try to understand the name what I have given. DNAT means destination NAT IP, means that's your public IP. And here I have given the FTP server. It means this is a real IP. So why destination address mentioned over here? Means public users will come with public IP, right? So mentioned over here as a destination IP. I mean like NAT. And this will be the translated address. Means the term looks like little bit confusing, right? Looks like, translated address means you would give a translated IP address, but actually here you are giving the real IP for whom you are doing the translation. You understood? Okay. After that, we'll be creating a policy between LAN to DMZ, and we will be allowing the selected traffic whatever we want. So let's do this. So first of all, what we'll do, we'll create an object. Let's decide first of all who will be the external host. Uh, I have one admin PC. Test PC will be inside, right? Okay, later on I'll need the test PC also, but I need one more Windows that I can use it at the outside. So this Windows I'll take it and I'll use it at the outside. I mean like at the WAN zone. And for DMZ server, we only have a DMZ router. Mm, this I directly use it because someone was using. Okay, I didn't pay attention on that. I'll use weekdays. This Palo Alto. Let me start. Let the devices get started.
Seshul, can you go
Can I?
back to the destination at representation again as the power boots up?
Okay, hold on. Along with the practical, I'll show you. Okay. Admin capital A small b 1 2 3 4 5. Uh, okay, well, what I'll do, I'll put this Windows PC at your outside WAN, right? Okay. And what IP address do I need here? I'll say 172.16.3.180 or 18. Okay, 180. Gateway, I'll put it 172.16.3.48. Security at the window is 172.16.3.48. I do have a reachability. See here, icon will show it's not connected, but you'll get the reachability. Okay, this now we'll get access. 3.0.0.254. Okay, dot is missing. Advanced, add exception, username, admin, password, capital 345, say login. And here we'll see we have multiple policies, right? Okay, I'll come to the policy, NAT policy. I already have a NAT policy. This is from LAN to WAN, right? I need a policy from, okay. So meanwhile, I'll disable this policy. I don't need this policy as of now. I'll need a policy from the, okay, WAN to WAN. That's it. So tag I'll give my real packet is coming from which zone? WAN zone. And the packet is being received at the WAN interface or WAN zone. Interface E1/3. I can limit the service or I can allow any service. It's up to you. My source will be this and destination will be what, that also you can define. Okay. So it's up to you. Okay. If I say the packet should come to the translated IP, that will be the destination address for the source, right? Source can be anyone. My destination translated IP, dnat underscore IP. Let's say what was the translated IP? 172.16.3.181 we kept, right? I'll say okay. I'll go to the translation. Can you see the destination NAT written over here? Okay. Here I'll come and I want to put an IP address statically. And what was my DMG server IP? I have the DMG server IP, right? I'm not going for port address translation. So simply I can get IP address over here. So I hope it matches your rule that we have created. Yes. So security over here. So this is the translation done. I'll come to the security policy and here I'll create the policy. Policy should be from WAN to LAN. And the LAN to source zone is LAN zone. Destination is LAN zone. To limit the service, HTTP, it's up to you what you want to. Okay, you want to limit the user, it's up to you. So in this case, I'll give the right commit and like I'll commit it. So once the translation is done, now I'll come to the out PC. I'll make sure at the DMG server my HTTP service is enabled. So running section HTTP. Let's say HTTP related all the commands. IP HTTP server username as a admin with the privilege of 50 and the password as a password. Okay. And IP HTTP authentication using a local database. So I'll come to the Windows PC, that's your outside PC. And from here, I'll try to get an access to HTTP colon double slash. That's your 172. We translated with which IP 181, right? Okay. Our translated IP address I'll give here to get an access to the DG server. We can also see the translation rule through the CLI. The command is, I guess, capital small b 1 2 3 4. So the running NAT policy. If you see here, WAN to WAN destination IP address is this IP, right? Translated to 192.168.30.3. See, according to my previous policy, 172.16.10.0 was the submit, right? And I had taken the IP address 172.16.10.50 as a 172.16.10.50 as a IP address of my DMG server according to this document. Okay, so here I'm not getting an internet means DMG server access. That might be some issue with IP address or like that. So what I'll do is I'll come to the admin PC and we created the policy between LAN and DMZ, right? WAN to DMZ, right? Is it? Okay. LAN to DMZ I have to create, right? Sorry. Sorry. Yes, WAN to DMZ, right? I need to create from WAN to DMZ. Okay. The source will be LAN. Destination will be DMZ. So wait. Source will be WAN. Destination will be DMZ. Correct. Any application, any service? No. I'm going with the HTTP service. There was a mistake in the policy. So the name also will modify. So WAN to DMZ. Okay. So WAN to DMZ is the policy. Source is the WAN zone. Destination is the DMZ zone. Application any services. HTTP action allow. Okay. Commit. Now we'll get access. Okay. Username is admin. Password is Cisco. I got the access to the DMZ server, right? So while understanding the NAT policy, see how it looks like. WAN to WAN was the policy name. NAT type was IPv4. It was from the WAN zone, okay, to the WAN zone. Interface 1/3 was used. Destination IP address was this IP address to which we used to come to your firewall, right? Means using this public IP, using any service and translated to, I mean like translated to destination 192.168.30.3 means basically we have done the translation for this IP with this particular IP. Okay, so this is how you need to understand. And we are coming from outside with this public IP to reach our DMZ server. Now, if you are coming to the DMZ server, so IP HTTP server. If you say history, in this, what do you see? Someone from outside. Who was the outside IP? 172.16.3.180 was the outside IP. Got access on the DMZ server 192.168.3.3 on the port number 80, right? So this was the real source. This was the real destination. But if I see a monitor, if I go to the monitor, if I go to the session browser, and if I come here, let's understand this one. Security policy, the first policy was the intra-zone default. By default, it was. By default, intra-zone policy is present, right? Implicit rule, remember? So by default, intra-zone default policy was triggered to allow the traffic. If you guys have confusion, you can see here. Coming to the policy, in the beginning of class, I told you, right? There are two implicit rules. One called intra-zone default, another called inter-zone default. Intra-zone default means allowed it, right? The action is allow. So by default, any zone to any zone. I mean like it can be intra-zone for any zone. So by default, this intra-zone rule was triggered. and that's true. So intra-zone policy, we had seen the packet was coming from WAN to WAN, right? So that's why here it is showing you a intra-zone default. Now, first flow, client to server. Who was the client?
Client to as WAN interface.
Which flow is this? Right. We'll refresh the monitor part. There are some other IP addresses which is coming over here. I'm using my network IP, right? That's why it is coming. So let me get an access again. Okay, I'm getting an access. Let me see on the admin PC. Okay, this is source as a 180, right? So let's see this packet. 180 to 181. This one, if we see, then we'll see the correct one. Okay. Actually, why are you able to see the different IP addresses? See, as I told you, 172.16.3.0 subnet is my internal internet accessible IP. So there are multiple hosts connected in that particular subnet. So when they are trying to communicate, the packets are coming here also. Now, let's read this one first. Okay, here we can see a security rule. We created the security rule called WAN to DMZ, right? Okay. A NAT rule we created called WAN to WAN. This is true. And this is the first flow that we can see. It's from client to server. The packet came from which zone? WAN zone. Who was the source IP? 172.16.3.180 was the source IP. What was the destination IP? 181. Looks good. Okay. You can see some dynamic port number was taken for the source and the destination port number was 80. Now, if I see a client to server, sorry, server to client, it's a reply packet, right? In a reply, who was the source? 192.168.30.3 was the source in a reply packet. So this was the source who gave a reply. So in a reply packet, this was the source, right? In a reply, there will be a real source IP, right, address of the server, right? And destination, who was the destination? 180 was the destination. Why? 180 was a guy who had initiated the packet. In between, this was happened, right? This IP address was translated. Now here I can see from the port number 80 and it replied back to the same port number. This is not a static path, right? It's only a static NAT. It's not a static path. And here the IP address will, sorry, here the IP address will be fixed. Every time, whenever you will do the static path, that time also what will happen? The port address will also be fixed. Static path. Dynamic path means it will change, right? So is this clear to everyone? Shall we repeat again or it's clear? Okay. So in this way, you guys can access and bring it. Let me just tell you in brief what I did. Okay. First of all, we created a policy. In a policy, we created WAN to WAN policy, in which we made a source as a WAN, destination as a WAN. When the packet will be received from the public zone to the public interface, that is your E1/A, the packet will come through the source IP as any public IP to your destination IP, means a translated IP. It will come through the translated IP. So that's what the DNAT over here is. And once the packet comes through this IP, then what will happen? The packet will reach to which destination? DMZ server. That's what we have mentioned over here. Now, this was the translation rule. Coming to the security policy rule, the packet has to come after untranslation. The packet has to come from where? From the DMZ, sorry, WAN to DMZ. So WAN would be the source and DMZ would be the destination. So WAN to DMZ. You can limit the source addresses also. You can limit the services, applications, whatever you want, you can limit it over. So create a policy and then allow the traffic and get the access. This is how you'll be getting the access. And your destination NAT will be there. So this was your destination name. Okay, we'll see the next slide.
So sorry to interrupt you. Can you show the page where you showed the actual DNAT translation with source and destination?
See, this was a real IP, right? Coming from outside, 180. And this was the translated IP through which we reached from outside to PA. Now,
So she like, I don't know if I can hear you.
सर जी डिस्प्ले कहाँ दिख रहा है? हेलो सर जी.
hello. Hello guys, can you
हेलो
hear
गाइस।
me?
हाँ सर, आ रही है, आवाज आ रही है सर।
Hello.
सर आवाज तो आ रही है लेकिन डिस्प्ले ही नहीं आ रही है।
So I
Wait,
don't.
wait,
It
wait.
might
My
be
laptop has
just my PC. Yeah.
power is there.
So even when the laptop is running normal, there is a jitter in the delay. Maybe it's internet on my end. I don't know. Everybody else has this problem, or just
Now its power is there.
नहीं सर।
Arey, wait, wait. Now power went. Or it's my laptop is having issue or what? To wait, wait. I'm starting my PC. Wait. So there was an issue. Okay, I was discussing about the destination NAT, and you told me to tell it once again, right? What was my source IP? 172.16.3.180 was the source IP. And what was the real IP? 192.168.30.3, which was not possible to do. So what we did, we translated this IP into the public IP, right? And what was the public IP? 172.16.3.181. So now this IP is the destination IP through which you will reach the server, and this packet will be forwarded from your out PC to PA, means coming from WAN zone to WAN zone. Now the source will remain same, 172.16.3.180 will remain same. Destination IP will get untranslated back to 192.168.30.3, and PA will forward the packet from your PA to your DMZ server. Okay. Now there will be a reply. In a reply packet, who will be the source? Your DMZ server will be the source. Who will be the destination? A guy who initiated the packet from the outside will be the destination in the reply packet. And this packet will go from DMZ to PA. And this IP will be translated again to a public IP. What was the public IP? 181. While giving a reply, when the packet will reach to PA, from PA to the outside, when the packet has to be forwarded, it will be translated back to the public IP, and this packet will reach from PA to out, right? So source has become destination, destination has become source. Okay, is this clear? Harsa?
Yes, Trishil. Yeah. Also, yeah, can you show this translation on the Palo Alto? I was actually asking where you showed the source to destination translation, actual transition on the Palo Alto. I was asking for that snapshot.
Okay, guys, we'll continue tomorrow. Okay. See, the snapshot which you are talking about was about the translation, right, Harsa?
Yes, Sushil. Yeah, that's just the translation on the firewall. Yeah, just it. Yeah, I understood the destination and translation. I just
Okay, we'll continue tomorrow.
the one you demonstrated on the firewall showing the actual translation. I just want to take a snapshot of it. That's all.
Okay, okay, okay. Let me give you that.
Because yesterday, remember, showed the same for the source net. So I just want to compare it to.
This was a policy that we created.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and this was a NAT policy that we created. You have video, right? You can go through the video.
Okay. Okay.